Hello, Thought Shifting Thursday. We're trying this one more time on Instagram. So we have everybody watching. It's time for Thought Shifting Thursdays, and got a little change of venue here. Instead of being in my office, I'm going to be outside with our labyrinth behind me because this has just become our sanctuary along with our sweat lodge through there. I don't know if you can see that, but um, here we are. I just love it out here. So we're going to summarize what we've been doing for the last several weeks. um, if you're noticing, that doesn't matter. So, we've been focusing on life purpose, and so 3 weeks ago we just kind of gave you a preview to it. 2 weeks ago, we gave you a process for identifying, clarifying, deepening understanding of life purpose. And last week, then we helped you to create a vision for the ultimate fulfillment of your life purpose. So if you missed any of these, you can go to our YouTube channel, and the link is in the description here today. And you can look at those and many of our other Thought Shifting Thursdays or TCT, Thought Shifting Thursdays, as our friend Naomi calls them. So today I'm just going to kind of summarize it all. And so, we talked about life purpose. I just did a session with a client today, and for the first time, fairly new client, and for the first time we did the life purpose clarification process. And one of the things that came out of it that I really want to emphasize is once you come up with your life purpose definition, and just to remind you, we like to go with 7 words or less, the most succinct and powerful phrasing for why you're here on the planet. And maybe I'll give a little bit of a review of that. The quickest way to identify this is, what did you not get enough of as a child? What quality or guidance? And then the follow-up to that question is, how does it feel when you create that experience for someone else, fulfilling that, and they walk away feeling like they've received what you didn't get enough of as a child? For most people, that's where the light goes on and people feel, wow, this is what I'm most passionate about, what I didn't get enough of. This is what I most want to create in the world. And so to remind you then, what that means then is what we tend to think is our greatest liability, what we didn't get enough of. If that's what inspires us to create it in the world, then guess what? It's not a liability. It is in fact your greatest strength. And so identifying the words from that, my life purpose within the context of this format is, I empower others to feel accepted. So it's usually an I statement. It's usually the subject is what we didn't get enough of as a child, and most often the verb is empower or inspire. And those are just guidelines. It could be very different about that. For me, it could be I accept others. It could be I am pure acceptance. Um, but the wording is important. All of those things may mean the same thing, but when I do this process with individuals or with groups, when we come up with the exact wording, someone could go from one rendition to, yeah, that sounds cool, to another rendition that is, wow, that's, crying or laughing out loud. So my iPhone is running out of battery here. It's not completely charged, and I can't charge it out here. I don't have a wire that long enough. So we'll make this brief today. Um, so the most important thing then is applying one's life purpose in the here and now, and also having a vision that pulls us forward into the future, as we said last week. But what we really emphasize with my client today is that wherever we are in life, wherever we are in our job, whatever job we have, even if we hate it, as she does, um, it's always the perfect training ground for developing the skills and talents to fulfill our purpose at higher and higher levels as we move forward in our life. So, and for her, it was, this boss is like the worst boss I could have. But it was really clear to her in this moment that if she can, her life purpose is, um, I empower others to feel appreciated. And so, very clearly, what she got is if I can empower my boss to feel appreciated, number one, it's going to change our relationship, right? And she's may still be, showing up to other people in a certain way, but she's going to show up to her in a more empowering way because she's getting the greatest gift that she can get. So notice where in your life are you struggling? With whom in your life are you struggling with? And if you're clearly applying, have a clear intention to apply your life purpose in that situation with that person or persons, then guess what? A number of things happen. One is life gets better in those situations. Number two, the energy of your life purpose is flowing through you on a consistent basis, which cannot help you. It cannot help inspire you to want to fulfill your life purpose in more and more empowering ways, um, in more dynamic ways, in more financially dynamic ways. I guarantee you, this is the story of my life, how it has unfolded. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. Is I'll just give you, a background of my own personal experience, how applying this has worked. So I want to talk a little bit about living from joy and how that ties into life purpose. Um, what the basis of the most important aspect of my teaching these days is simply this: when we live from an inner experience of freedom and joy, then everything in life comes into alignment with that. Life gets easier. Everything that we want just comes to us easily and effortlessly. I'll include all of that next week in my personal experience, give you a bunch of stories around that. So the bottom line is how we nurture an inner experience of joy is simply to do what brings us joy. Society tells us if you want to get ahead in life, you got to work hard. It's got to be a struggle. And my experience is the absolute opposite. The more we live from an inner experience of joy, the more we do what brings us joy, the more we are demonstrating to our own psyche, our own subconscious mind, that we deserve to live a life of joy. The more we show up with joy, which comes from consistently doing what brings us joy, the more the world responds to us. Doesn't matter what business you're in, if you are showing up with joy, you are the person that's going to get the best results. You are going to rise to the highest level in your industry. Because if you're in sales, people will buy things from people that make them feel joyful because they're joyful. If you are working for someone else, you're going to get the best praise, the best promotions, the best raises, because the people that are in charge of just making those decisions feel joyful when they're around you because you are exuding joy. So I'm telling you, it is as simple as that. Is we think it's we tend to think it's an outside in game, that I will be more joyful when I get the better job, when I get the better relationship, when I get better health, when um, I'm more prosperous financially. But it always works the other way around. When I feel all of those feelings inside, then my inner experience begins to inform the world of form, and everything gets easier and more joyful, and I guarantee a whole lot more fun. So that's going to be my short message for today, and go to the YouTube, see the past ones, and put all the pieces together. This is kind of a 4-week workshop here, and we're going to extend it into one more week next week as well. I'll give you a whole bunch of fun stories about how this has shifted my life in very specific and practical ways. So, my friends, have a great rest of your week and weekend, and live in joy. Just let's finish with a meditation. Just close your eyes. Think about the most joyful time you've ever had. What I often offer for people that are wanting to love themselves more. Think about the pet, your favorite pet of all time. How much you love that pet. Can you love yourself as much as that pet? Bring that together with your memory of your most joyful memory and just dissolve into the feelings and magnify them and feel that you're living these experiences right here and right now. And you've just done it. You're now living from joy. Just practice extending this into your life, into your daily activities. And it's a practice. It's not going to change overnight. It's going to get better and better, incrementally. And don't judge yourself when it's not, because it ebbs and flows, right? So when it's flowing, embrace that. Enjoy it. When it's ebbing, forgive yourself. Love yourself, no matter what in that moment. And that will bring you back to the flow even more quickly. And embrace that. Okay, somebody's asking when our next sweat lodge is. Jonathan, they are on the third Saturday of every month. Go just Google, if you haven't already, Sweat Lodge Los Angeles or Ventura, and our meetup group comes up number one. Sign up for that if you haven't, and that will give you all the information. So, boy, they are getting better and better. We're doing smaller groups these days. So we'll see you next month. I think we have some spots left for July. So sign up, Jonathan, and we'll see you there. All right, my friends, have a great week. Love to you all, and live and joy.